I'm in a forest. I'm, I'm near the edge of a lake, and I can see myself. I have wavy orange hair. I'm just looking around at my surroundings.
Mm-hmm. Look at yourself. Do you feel like you're male, female?
I'm female.
Do you feel younger, older?
It feels like I'm in my 30s.
What are you wearing?
For some reason, I'm not wearing anything. I feel fully nude.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you're carrying with you?
I'm not carrying anything, but I'm touching some of the pebbles by the edge of the lake. I'm, I'm looking at them.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any jewelry on?
I don't see any jewelry. I just see that I'm fully nude, and it seems that I'm going to take the pebbles with me because they're very, very pretty. I might use these later.
Okay. Go ahead and keep moving the scene along. Move the scene along. What do you do next?
I walk through the forest. I'm just seeing my surroundings, and I'm feeling the earth, feeling the energy from the trees. It's my first time to be in this area, in this location,
Mm-hmm.
and the energies, it feels comforting. I feel safe here.
Is there anyone else there with you? Any other life?
I don't sense any other human entities, but there's a deer that approaches me. I'm just observing it from a distance. It seems it saw me and it's curious about me.
Mm-hmm. Why is it that you think you're here?
I'm here because this is the first time that I physicalized. It's my first time to incarnate as this being. So this is me encountering and feeling and sensing what it's like to exist for the very first time in the physical realm.
You feel that this is the first time that you have incarnated into this being?
Or in this, it's like it's the first time that I've incarnated into this particular existence. The place feels like it's on Earth, and it feels like this was the first time that I incarnated into Earth.
Mm. So let's see if there is a place that you call home. Is there a place that you call home in this land?
Yes. Within the forest, there is a cave where I'm able to find shelter and where it protects me from the rain. And I have some leaves there that I lay on so that the ground's not so cold when I sit and when I lie down.
Mm-hmm.
And out from my cave, I can still see the forest outside, and it feels so beautiful. Everything looks so beautiful outside.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that this feels like it's the first time, say, incarnated within this being, in this plane of existence. Do you feel that you've been incarnated somewhere else as well? Do you have any memories of prior?
In this particular incarnation, I only sense and remember the memories from this particular incarnation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a sense of remembering existence, physical existence in other places.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. Is there anything else that stands out in this cave besides the leaf? Anything else that's special to you?
For some reason, I see like near the back of the cave there are like seems like it's skeletons. It's like the remains of a previous being.
Let's go see back there. Let's go see. You're able to sense, see, feel, know everything very clearly, very clearly. What do you see back there?
I don't know who died in the cave and who was there, but I have a feeling that they were either buried there or they went there to die.
Mm-hmm.
And near the place where they were buried, that's where I see that that's where I also light my fires for warmth.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel that is there just one person, one being, or were there more than one being there that passed away?
It seems it was just one because I can only see one skull.
Mm-hmm.
I don't touch I just leave them be. I respect that this was their place before me. So I just leave them where they are, and I don't touch them. I don't move them.
Okay, very good. Do you feel that there is anyone else in this land besides you and the animals?
I can sense them. I don't know if I've interacted with them. I feel that it's almost like I've been separating myself. It's like I prefer to be alone. I prefer to be separate. I can sense them. I prefer to stay in my cave and stay within the forest, away from everyone else.
Do you feel that you've been with others in the past?
I sense that I've had encounters with others in the past, not necessarily negative, but those encounters have led me to prefer to stay alone and to stay quiet. It's like when I interact with others, it's their energies disturb me. So I prefer to be alone.
How about, did you feel that you came from a family? Or did you originate with a family? Did you have a mother and a father?
I'm remembering now that yes, I did. I can recall what they looked like. They're not like me. I can see my mom. She was fully clothed. She's wearing a dress with long sleeves. I can see gray hair. I remember her being old. I'm not getting the sense that she's still alive.
Let's go back in time now. Back in time. Back in time when it was that you decided to leave where you were at with others. Perhaps if you were with a family, wherever you were at, before you decided to venture on your own in that moment that you decided to do so. Separate yourself from others. You're there now. You're able to sense and see and feel everything very clearly now. Tell me what you see.
Yes, I can see myself much younger. I think I'm between 13 to 15 years old. I'm wearing clothes similar to what my mother was wearing. I see myself within our village, but even as a child, I was always quiet. I would tend to keep to myself because I was like, it seems I was afraid of disappointing people. I was afraid to say what was on my mind, and my mom was always trying to protect me. I think that's why I decided to go into the forest after she had passed away because I didn't want to interact with anybody anymore. Like I could only really relate to my mother, and after she had left, I wanted to be alone.
Tell me that day that you decided to leave. What's going on? What are you doing to prepare? How old do you feel?
I was around 18 when my mother passed away, and immediately after her funeral, when we had laid her in the ground, that's when I decided that I wanted to leave. I didn't want to I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to stay in the village. I wanted to separate myself because I always felt at peace in the forest. I always felt at peace alone.
Walk, walk me through it. Walk me through it. When you decide to go, what does that look like?
When my mom was being buried or when we had her funeral, I was overcome with a sense of panic because I knew that I would have to live without her. I knew that I would have to perhaps at some point get married as well. I didn't want to. I couldn't relate to the people in our village. I don't think I prepared anything to take when I left. I just, in the middle of the night after my mom's funeral, I just left and I walked through the forest and I kept going and I tried going as far away as I could until I found the cave and until I found that place which I ended up calling home. I'm sensing, I'm remembering my name was Mary.
Let's go ahead and leave that scene. Let's leave that scene now. Let's go to another important time in this life. Another important time. You are there now. Tell me what you see, sense, and feel.
I'm much older now. I'm in my 40s. I feel ill. It feels like because of the weather, it's starting to get very, very cold. And I'm feeling very cold, I'm feeling sick. I don't know what's wrong with me, and I feel very alone. I'm starting to doubt if my decision to separate and to move away from the rest of the town or the rest of the village was the right one. I feel very alone.
You said that it's cold. Do you feel that you're wearing anything now that is cold?
No, I'm still nude. I'm not wearing anything. I'm in my cave, and I'm in the corner where I put all of the leaves, but they're not keeping me cold. I'm trying to stay by the side of the walls of the cave so that the wind can't get to me, but I still feel cold and alone.
Go ahead and keep moving the scene along. Tell me what happens next of importance.
I'm getting the sense that I passed away after I got sick at that time, but I can still see myself walking through the forest, but this time as a spirit now. The colors have changed. Everything looked golden. It's kind of like orangey. Even though it's not autumn or this isn't how the forest should look at this time of the year, but I'm seeing that the colors have changed and everything's so golden. It's bright. I feel warm now. I'm just walking through the forest.
And tell me, what is it that you end up doing after you're done walking through the forest? Is there a point that you're done walking? What do you do as your spirit walks the earth?
No, it's like after I walk
Mm-hmm.
and after I feel a sense of peace, it's like I can see myself and my surroundings turning into a bright white light. And I'm going through and entering the white light. I can sense the presence of my mother. She has a different form, but I know it's her because she reminds me of what she looks like or what she looked like before she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's just energy and she's there to welcome me.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that you do when she welcomes you? Is there somewhere that you go? What do you do next?
I tell her that I'm sorry because I feel I shouldn't. I tell her that I shouldn't have run away, that I should have stayed and tried to make connections with other people within the village. I shouldn't have run away. I feel a sense of regret. She's comforting me. I shouldn't have disconnected like that. It's like I almost feel like I wasted an opportunity to build a better connection with others.
And what does she say?
She's very understanding. She knows she's being the way a mother should, the best possible way that a mother can be. She comforts me. She lets me know that it's okay. She tells me that there will be other opportunities in other lifetimes, and she tells me about the good things about myself. I feel better, but I still feel that life was a wasted opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I should have connected with others.
Very good. So let's leave the life now. You're moving away from that being there, that woman there, leaving him there, leaving her there, so that they may continue on her own path. We send them on their way with love and peace. We now leave that scene with gratitude. Can I please have all the consciousness of return back into the body, fully integrating? Can I please speak to the higher self of...
Hello.
Am I speaking to the higher self now?
Yes.
Thank you. I honor you, I thank you, and I respect you for all the aid you have given us today. I know that you hold all the records, different lives. May I ask questions, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, why is it that you chose to take to this life where he was a female in a forest and was alone? She was alone. Tell us, what was the purpose of that life? Anything you wanted to tell her about that life?
Something that's really been working on is connecting with other people, trying not to distance himself and to really make an effort to connect. But life was not a waste. There were positives, of course, also. Something that he is able to learn from within that life also was the connection that Mary had with the earth and with the environment, and the sense of being reborn. Mary, when she had left the town, felt that she was reborn, and that's why she felt that it was her first incarnation. She felt that after she left the town that she was reborn.
Mm.
So those are the things, the connection with the earth and the focusing on connecting with others and not wasting the chance to connect with others.
And was that on this earth or somewhere else?
It was on earth.
Do you know what times that was?
It was in the mid-1800s, early to mid-1800s.
And why is it that she chose to be, say, nude in that time after she left the village?
It was her attempt to be natural and to be one with the environment. She wanted to remove anything that connected her with what she saw as civilization. She wanted to go back to basics, and she wanted to sort of complete her connection with nature. The only thing is that as she did that, she forgot that she could do that while still being connected to the humans around her, while she could still be connected to nature while being connected to the people that she lived with.
How long did she live like that on her own?
For almost half her life, like until she passed away when she was in her early 40s.
Anything else you want to tell her about this life?
To always remember the connection she felt to nature, the connection she felt to the spirit of the forest or the spirit of the earth, but to never forget that there's an opportunity to connect with the humans around you as well, and to help others feel that connection.
Is there any healing required of that life?
Just in terms of the regret, and for Mary to see that it was not a life that was wasted. In the end, she was able to build a very strong connection to the environment. She was able to create a very strong connection to the earth. There were other opportunities for her to connect with the humans around her.
Thank you. Now, higher self, thank you. Thank you once more for taking her to that life. And this time, we're looking to begin the body scan. Would you be able to please start conducting the body scan and let us know if you need any assistance from the archangels?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Which archangel would you like to come forth first to help out?
Michael was helping earlier during the energy work.
Wonderful. If we could please call on Archangel Michael now, higher self, if you could connect us to Archangel Michael now so we can begin the body scan. If I could speak to Michael now, please.
Greetings.
Greetings. Thank you. Thank you, brother, for being here. We love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you. We are looking, the higher self asked if you can be here, as they mentioned that you were here during the energy work. And if I may ask before we start the body scan, why is it that you were there for the energy work?
There was an entity that was connecting to left foot. It was an entity that he had not previously been able to scan. Generally, he is able to scan entities that he feels within his vessel, but this one he perhaps had missed. There's a tendency for his left foot in particular to have entities be attached to it. Previously, there were portals here. He was able to heal those to a certain degree, but when I arrived, there was an entity that was deeply embedded within the foot.
Okay.
During the energy work, we had started the process of extracting the entity. We were able to remove a large portion of the tentacles, but now we need to continue removing the tentacles. It seems that as we keep pulling and removing the tentacles from the left foot, for some reason, it seems that they're regenerating within. It seems that this is it's like a negative biotechnology that regenerates. It's embedding within the veins.
May I use the Phoenix Fire to start transmuting it out?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. And if we could scan his whole body and make sure, because I know he mentioned that these tentacle beings were, he had seen at some point, 20 of them were trying to, one night when he went to bed and he didn't set up force fields of intent of protection, of love light. These beings came and they were trying to attach themselves, and were like he said also, like in his third eye and head area, different parts. If we could scan his body, I want to make sure while we're taking care of this tentacle being there in his left leg, that there isn't any more residue or these type of entities in him.
There's residue on the forehead. They use it as it's their way of trying to prevent his connection to the higher self. He's been doing a lot of work in terms of his clairvoyance, and these beings can sense his growth. That's why they're trying to suppress that. At the moment, there is an entity there, but it seems to have been deactivated. It's kind of like the technology. It's almost like a residue, but it is still there. And this is one area that we do have to address as well. And before we do that, there's also one on the back, near the back of the heart chakra. The entities in the past would try to attach to the heart chakra, but they couldn't stay there for too long because they couldn't withstand the Phoenix Fire for too long. So they tried to go to the back, through the back.
Okay. So if we could focus, if you could tell us, Michael, I know these are type of, you said biotech, AI type of entities. Is this an entity that we could transform, ascend into light, or should we just transmute it?
It would be great if, well, for the biotechnology itself, that can just be transmuted, because it seems that it doesn't have its own specific consciousness.
Yes.
But what we'd like to do is, if possible, is we'd like to trace the root to find out if it's connected to an actual entity, or if it's possible to see who had sent the sent, so that perhaps we could try to positively polarize that being.
Very good, thank you. If we could start transmuting is what's left there in the third eye, that area, also in the back of the heart there. On the left side, I believe he pointed at. Let's go ahead and start transmuting that with Phoenix Fire. And Michael, as we're working on those energies, if we can trace the cords to what this is connected to. What is this connected to? And you can feel free, with the higher self's permission, to call upon any other archangel that you need aid with.
Yes, can we call on Metatron, please, to use the alchemy symbols?
Yes, we'll call on Archangel Metatron now. Archangel Metatron, brother, we love you, we honor you, and we respect you. Michael has requested for your assistance. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. He is looking if we are transmuting some of the tentacle parts that are within this biotech entity in his body, as you might have heard. And Michael has requested for symbols that are needed if you want to use them wherever you see that it is needed for the retraction, the transmutation of this hold here upon body. Now we would like to, perhaps Metatron, you could also assist Michael. Let's follow these cords. Let's follow these cords now, safely and lovingly protected. Let's follow them and see where are these cords connected to. What entity out there is connected to these tentacles? Let us know what you find, Michael and Metatron.
The one in the foot, as well as there's actually one on, it's kind of like a plate around the arm above the wrist on the left arm. These were implanted by the reptilians that had encountered previously.
The tentacles came from the reptilians?
They were using the technology.
Okay. Oh, is there an actual entity connected to this technology that has these tentacles?
I'm not getting a sense. I think we have to. I think in order for us to get a better sense, we need to deal with the residue, with
Okay.
the one that's here on the crown chakra. Michael is continuing to pull out the tentacles from the left foot. There's a tug. It's taking some time. It seems that the tentacles have a little bit of a hook towards the end of the tentacles.
Okay.
Quite difficult to pull out.
Okay, if we could start transmuting wherever these hooks are at, connected to any part of the tentacles in his body. If we could start disintegrating, transmuting them now, please. With fire.
There is a tug, but the hooks are in very deep.
Mm-hmm.
The hooks and the tentacles have reached above the knee. They're quite long.
Let's keep working on transmuting those out. And as you see them loosen up enough, Michael, if you could try to release them, pull them out of there as we continue to transmute them. Thank you.
While Michael is working on the foot, Metatron would like to start working on the forehead chakra.
Yes, please. If Metatron can start doing that now. Thank you.
This dragon is helping as well.
Thank you. We honor you. We thank you. We respect you. Thank you. What kind of dragon is this?
It's a spirit dragon. It's a white dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Pinkish eyes. It's very gentle. It's the dragon form of.
Beautiful. Thank you.
The cords in the foot are almost all out.
Okay.
It's only residue that's left.
Very good.
We're trying to pull out the very last strands.
Okay. And then we want to make sure that we leave enough to follow through and see if there is an actual entity with tentacles connected to this.
I'm getting the sense that the cords are connected to a reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
And Metatron is starting to surround the reptilian with the alchemy symbols.
Good. Good. And where's this reptilian? Is it in him or outside of him?
It's outside.
Where is it located at?
I'm getting the sense that it's in the inner earth.
Thank you. Thank you, Metatron, for locating him and surrounding him now. As we continue to transmute and remove these tentacles and hooks, can we speak to that entity that Metatron has found?
Yes.
Thank you. We would like to speak now. We would like to speak now to the entity there, the reptilian that Metatron has found there in the inner earth. We'd like to speak to you now, please. Greetings.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us. We love you. We honor you and we respect you. May I ask you questions, please?
Yes.
Thank you. If I may ask, where are you located at now?
We're in a cave deep in the earth.
Is there more than just you?
We're just a few of us here.
Mm-hmm. Is this your home?
Yes, it's our home, and it's where we were stationed. It has become our home.
And when you say you're deep in a cave, do you say that it's like a cave that's natural, or is there like a structure of building within this cave?
It's a natural cave. From the cave, we've built structures within.
Okay. And you said that you were stationed there?
Yes.
How many would you say that were originally stationed there?
There were a lot more, but now there are around 3 to 5 of us here.
And what happened to your other, say, colleagues that were there? What happened to them?
I don't know. They were gone.
They were just gone?
Yeah, it seems they were here before. We don't know what happened to them.
Were you there with them when they were there, or when you got there, they were just gone?
There were around 50 of us previously, but now there are only 5 of us. We don't know what happened to the others.
Okay, so did they just like start disappearing, you could say? Just leaving or vanishing from there?
Yes, it was like they were transmuting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And if you could tell me, why is it that you chose to you could say, target Joseph with these type of biotech tentacle beings into him?
He's too open at times. It's almost like he loves too much. Sometimes that's why he doesn't shield. It's because it's almost like he feels he can change those with the love that he has, and it leaves him open. So he was open, and that's how we connected. We connected to the foot also specifically because it's his immediate connection to the earth, and he's tried to really connect with the earth, and we're trying to stop that connection.
Okay. And can you tell me, where was it that you got these tentacle type energies? Where did you get them from?
There's a portal into the void. We use the portals to transport the tentacles. We use squid-like technology. We utilize the portals.
Okay. And why is it that, for example, you would wait till he's asleep to be able to insert these? Why is it important? Why are you able to do that when he sleeps?
Because he's more open. He's been waking up recently, though, even like he's able to sense when we approach. So we've had to change the times when we try to approach him, or when we've tried to open the portals to connect the tentacles.
And what is the purpose to that? Like, what is it? What do you get out of that, of doing that?
We choose specific parts of the body to attach because of the energies that those parts of the body are connected to. So the foot is the easiest place for us because it's not generally one of the chakras. There is a chakra in the foot as well, in each foot, and it's not generally one of the ones that protects. That's why it's the easiest for us to get to. For his forehead, that's so that we can suppress the connection that he has to the higher self. We also place tentacles around the crown chakra so that the connection with the higher self is dimmed. It cannot be fully removed, meaning the connection to the higher self cannot be fully removed, but it can be dimmed. For the arm, we placed the plate on above the hand, above the wrist, because this is where Joseph feels the strongest energies when he's trying to heal others. Again, it's our way of trying to dim those entities, or it's our way of trying to dim the light that Joseph's able to emanate.
And why do you have to dim his light?
So that he can't heal others. He's really been focusing on trying to help heal others. And he's been trying to bring the light to others so we can stop him from doing that.
Why would you need to do that? What is it hindering you? Him spreading his light and helping others? How is that hindering you?
When he spreads the light, it helps create positive energy, and we feed off the negative energy. So that's why we try to dim the light, so that by dimming his light and by stopping him from healing others, then we will always have that source of negative energy.
Do you need that source of negative energy for what?
To keep us alive.
The negative energy keeps you alive?
Yes, we feed on the negative energy. It's like a drug to us.
Would you say that you are addicted to it, like a drug?
Yes, it's like because we use it as our source of sustenance. We don't know how else to survive.
Is there a way that perhaps a being like you, like a reptilian being, is there a way that you can not have to do that? Have you heard of any reptilians out there that do not feed off dark energy or are positive instead?
This is how we've always been. We don't know anything else. There might be, but this is all we know.
Okay. Now I know that there is, you said a few of you there, maybe around 5. And we'd love to be able to aid you today, perhaps similar to what occurred to the other ones that were there that are now of the light. We are looking to help you today so that you may spread your love light, so that you may no longer have to play this negative role. Would you allow for us to age today? As you know, the earth is ascending, and when it ascends, lower vibrational energies like you will be transmuted to light. And instead, we're giving you a choice to be able to ascend and positive polarize and lift and ascend yourself now before that time comes. Would you allow for us to aid you today so that you may no longer have to be stuck playing this role?
Yes, it's very lonely here.
Very good. Now, you five, are you all males or females in there?
We're all males.
Okay. Is there any females with you at all at any point?
There were when we had the 50.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We want you to find that light within you. Find that light within you now and spread it to all that is of you. Every room, every core, every piece of you that is within that body there, those bodies that you have there in that cave. Make sure you spread it to all that is of you. Every part of you, of your body, of your energies there. Spread it to all light. And let us know once you are all light.
I can feel vibrations over my body.
Good. Then as they continue to spread to light. We could all focus spreading light there to them. If Michael, if you could give us an update, how are those tentacles looking in his body?
They are loosening up, but it's still taking some time to pull them out.
Okay, that's okay. We'll continue using the fire.
As the reptilians are turning with the light, it's getting a little bit easier to pull them out, but they're still in quite deep.
Okay, good. Okay, we'll continue focusing Phoenix Fire on there as you continue to pull them out. And we'll continue spreading love light to those reptilians there.
They are of the light.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you could tell us as you are of light now, what happened to your body?
We can leave our bodies behind. It's a shell. Our body is a shell that will disintegrate after we leave.
Very good. Now that shell is there, tell me what it is that you five do. What do you all do now that you're of light?
We haven't decided yet.
Okay. Is it okay if we call on the angels to make sure they come and guide you where you're meant to go, to ensure that you don't go anywhere else but to the light?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. If we can call on angels there to guide these 5 reptilians now that are positive polarized. Guide them to where they're meant to go. And do you have a message for her before you go?
We're sorry we hurt you. We're sorry for all those that we hurt.
Thank you. Thank you. You can go ahead and go with the love and light of the universe. Blessings to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michael, if you could look, I'm interested in knowing what happened to the other 50, I believe he said 50 reptilians that were there in that cave, and he thinks that they transform or ascended of some kind. Can we look back in time? Back in time, help us see and sense what happened to them.
There was a large pouring of energy. It was the spring equinox event earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
When the energies came in, they positively polarized. And it was almost like they were forced to be of the light.
Beautiful. And what happened to them once did they all turn to light?
The ones who left, yes.
And do you know where they went?
They went back to their home galaxy, but as positively polarized beings.
Beautiful. And why is it that these remained?
It was not their time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Michael. If we can tell us if you could guide us through this, say, base that they had there in the cave. Can you tell me what it looks like?
I'm seeing a lot of technology. It looks like the computers. It's very well integrated in the structures of the inner earth. They've used the caves within the inner earth to create the base.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where within the caves is where they built the base. And they brought a lot of technology with them.
Mm-hmm. And what was it that they did there? What does it look like they did there?
They were connecting to humans who were open and who were going through their awakenings. That was their mission, to stop those who were going through their awakening from fully awakening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what wonderful news that this, would you call it a base?
Yes, but it wasn't kind of like a headquarters. It was kind of like a satellite station.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain what you mean a satellite station? What does that mean?
So they've spread, the reptilians, this group are spread across the earth, and they have different bases, or they have different satellite bases where they do their work. It's not the central location. They were beamed down into the inner earth. I'm not getting the sense that there's a headquarter like base within the inner earth. It seems that they were planted there.
Mm-hmm. How long would you say that this base here with the 50, how long ago was it placed there?
At least 200 or 300 years.
Mm-hmm. And these 5 that we helped to the light, and also let's say the total 50, did they particularly have any reptilian consciousness attached to any people?
Yes, that was their purpose.
Mm-hmm. And how many would you say out of the 50 total reptilians, how many people were they attached to upon Earth?
At least 1,000.
Mm-hmm. So this equinox energy that was worked upon, and many beautiful light workers around the world were working during this time, were they some aid towards this occurrence?
Yes, when the light came in, it was helping all of the light workers who were awakening increase their energies, which is why there was more monitoring that was being done by the negatively polarized entities. But at the same time, those that were within Earth, as a consequence, some of them were positively polarized as well.
And where were these energies coming forth from?
From the sun.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And is there any other bases like these inside the Earth?
I'm getting the sense that there were a lot more before, but they're slowly being emptied out.
And what can we do to aid the emptying them out?
Sending love to the earth. When we connect to the earth, the energies that we send to the ground will make its way to these bases that are hidden. Sending love and light to the earth will help, because since the bases are within the earth, then sending love and light to the inner parts of the earth, they will for sure be affected.
Okay, very good. And how are the those tentacles looking in him?
They feel like they've been deactivated. I think you still need to transmute them further, but they're
Okay,
not active.
good. We'll continue transmuting them until they are fully out. Until then, as we're transmuting them, Michael, can you connect us to Raphael and have him please, if he could please start filling in love light wherever it is that we're removing these tentacles from with the hooks. Thank you. Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, if we could scan his body now for any other energies, entities, technologies, negative implants, anything that's hindering him, scan his body now from top to bottom. Let us know what else you find, Michael, please.
The residue on the forehead still needs to be transmuted. It's getting lighter,
Mm-hmm.
but it still needs to be transmuted further. And on the arm above the left wrist, it seems that the plate has also been deactivated, that it needs to be cut out almost.
Mm-hmm. Michael, can you do that with your sword? Can you start cutting that out, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. As you do that, can I speak to Metatron, please?
Yes.
Metatron, brother, thank you. Thank you for being here once more. Can we continue the body scan as Michael works there? Can you scan the body and let us know what else you find that needs healing in his body?
Just the residue on the forehead.
Okay, good. Is there no more entities in him? Portals, hooks, negative implants?
None, but we do need to make sure that once the tentacles from the foot are fully removed,
Mm-hmm.
we need to put a special shield or protection around the foot.
Okay.
It is quite prone
Mm-hmm.
to having portals attached to it, to having tentacles.
Okay. So just let us know when it's time to do that, please, Metatron. And also that disc type of object in his wrist. I'll make sure we did remove that.
Yes, Michael took it out.
Okay, good. And then again, just have Raphael filling in space with love light in those areas. Thank you. Wonderful. Let's see. Just let me know along the way, and once you see some, let us know when some other things are done. Thank you. Can you explain to us what does HIV look like in its form? What does it look like? What is it really?
It has like hooks that attach to the cells, which are supposed to help heal the body.
Mm-hmm.
So it attaches so that the body is not able to effectively heal itself. It's like a nanotechnology.
Mm-hmm. And why is it that it typically comes in through that form of, say, having love with your partner? Did they design it like that, or what is that?
Yes, it was designed that way so that people would associate and attach fear with the act of making love, which is a positive experience, or should be a positive experience. The medication to deactivate it, but the issue with the medication is that it alters also perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you take the medication, on the positive side, it does help to reduce the virus. But the negative side is the altered state that you're in. It has almost a hallucinogenic effect.
And he has a lot of, it seems as a lot of entities in this time, coming after him, it seems.
The other side is that the entities know who he is and know that he is trying to help heal others.
Mm-hmm.
The medicines are not the sole cause, but they contribute.
Okay. And does he need to be age regressed?
At this point, no. He's done a good job of age regressing himself,
Mm-hmm.
particularly after he became vegan.
Yes. Why is it that he needed to become vegan, and why do you say that helped him age regress, becoming vegan?
By becoming vegan, it removed all of the negative energies from the meat. And by not having the cloud of those negative energies, he was able to develop his psychic abilities, his clairvoyance, and his higher faculties. It's not that you can't develop those faculties when you eat meat, but you tend to attract lower vibration entities when you try to develop the higher faculties and you still intake meat.
Mm-hmm.
So in his case, he realized this. That's why he became vegan.
Very good, thank you. Very good. And can you scan his chakras now in his auric field? Let me know how those look. Make sure any of his chakras are not blocked or misaligned.
I'm not sensing any blockages at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just residue, leftover energy that can easily be transmuted.
Okay, let's go ahead and transmute that now, please. And how does his auric field look?
It's in generally good shape, but he's been tired recently, so it's a bit depleted, but it's not something that can't be solved by sleep or by focusing on resting. It should naturally regenerate.
Okay, good. And if you can scan his body for any negative cords, please.
It was just the one in the foot.
Okay.
The other cords have been cleared out.
Good. And can you scan his whole body for any reptilian consciousness? Make sure we don't miss anything.
It's clear.
Beautiful. And can you scan for any fragmented soul pieces? Is there any fragmented soul pieces that need to be healed and regained back to him?
No. He's been working on recovering these through his meditation.
Great, thank you. Is there any contracts that we can go ahead and remove for him that lessons have been learned?
None at this point.
Okay, good. And then any current trauma that we can heal, as well as past life trauma?
None as of the moment, because these are things that has been working towards.
Okay, very good. Very good. Now, Michael, if you could tell us, how are the tentacles looking now?
Almost all out.
Good. Very good. So let me see if there's any other questions I have for you specifically about situations he had with entities. Bear with me. Can you tell us more about this relationship that he has with the Greys? Why are they always around him? Why are they always going into his room and, you could say, probing him, you could say?
They're trying to monitor his development.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Ever since the energies in the earth have been coming in more strongly, they've been trying to monitor our progress, especially those who are awakening.
Are they positive, negative?
They're a mix of both, but by virtue of being around the earth when the energies are coming in, the negative within them is slowly becoming positive as well.
Who do they work for when they're probing him?
There are two sets. There's a set that does like the measurements, and then there's a taller group that aids. They're trying to aid in the ascension as well.
Is this a positive contract for his highest good?
Yes.
He said at some point, though, that they tried to put something negative in him, a negative implant, and then he asked for them to remove it, and they did remove it. What was that about?
This was when he was first realizing that he could project energies. So it was an implant. It wasn't the same as the implant from the reptilians on the left hand. The one that they had put on the right hand was more to measure. They were more curious about measuring the light that was coming out rather than stopping it, which is why they agreed to remove it when I'd asked.
Okay. Is there any healing needed for that?
Not at this point, because after requested for it to be removed, they actually also helped project deep blue light to heal the area where the implant previously was.
Okay, and then he also mentioned that he had an interaction with the Draco reptilian, and then they implanted metallic spiders in his joints. Can you check that? He feels that he deactivated it, so next time they came, they weren't able to hurt him.
Yes, actually it was the Greys who helped remove the metallic spiders after they were deactivated. It took some months, but they were able to remove those from the joints, which is why he doesn't feel the pain in those regions anymore.
Can you tell us, what are those metallic spiders?
They're there to cause pain to the nerves. So sometimes when they embed them, they can appear as neurological disorders, or they can be interpreted as neurological disorders, but really what they're meant to do is that they artificially cause pain, and it's like a pricking sensation in the joints.
Okay, and then he said that the next time the reptilian came, he sent him love light, and he felt that he started positively polarizing. He wanted to confirm, was he positively polarized with his interaction? Can you give us more information on this?
Yes, after that interaction, the energies of the reptilian became much lighter. You have to also think that when these beings come to a healer or to a light worker, in a sense, their higher selves also understand that by having these entities come to a light worker or come to a healer, their higher selves know that they will also be healed. So even if that version of the entity, in whichever dimension they're in at the moment, they may not be fully aware at their level that they will be healed, but they too have a higher self, and the higher self wants them to be healed, which is why they had that interaction.
Okay, good. So has this reptilian positive polarized? Does he need any help, or did he do it already?
He's well on his way. I can't say that he's fully positively polarized at the moment, but the light within him has definitely been sparked.
Can we find him and help him finalize the positive polarization?
I'm trying to locate him.
Also, he mentioned that there was other reptilians before he became Aura certified. He was, kind of doing this on his own naturally. He wanted to make sure those other ones that he tried to positive polarize, are they as well positive polarized? Well, he wants to make sure that they're not stuck somewhere or that he did something, incorrectly without the actual alchemy symbols we typically use with Aura. You scan for them as well, please, Michael.
Yes, we'll scan for them.
Thank you.
I was able to locate the Draco reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the sense that he's not following orders of his higher-ups anymore because of the interaction, because of the light that was sparked within him.
Yes.
It forced him to think. It forced him to think about the choices he had been making. He is no longer harming anybody, but has not managed to fully extract himself from the company of the others who are.
Are we able to help him now? Fully positive polarized now, so he may ascend into a positive polarization.
We can send out love light.
Okay, good. If we could focus upon him now, send him love light. And what about the others? What do you have to say about the other other reptilians he was talking about that he tried to aid?
Those other reptilians, he was able to use the alchemy symbols.
Okay.
But he should always look for, and something that he should always remember is to call on the help of the angelics. He will know that we are there when he sees the symbol of the angels within the light that appears in front of him. When he sees the symbols, he can be assured that we are there.
Thank you. Now let's see. And why is it that you said, why is it that the angelics would aid so profoundly with reptilians or anything like this that seems to be more dense than, say, regular entities? Why do you say call on the angelics?
Because of their direct connection to Source, and because the vibration and the purity of the love that they emanate is able to penetrate deeper. And also because it's better when we work together as a community, as one. Even if we each have our own abilities or our own individual capabilities to, let's say, positively polarize beings on our own, the power and the strength of the love and the light is magnified when a lot of us are working together towards the same cause. So when you call upon the angelics to help, it's not because you're unable to do it on your own, but rather because calling on them helps magnify the love and the light that can be emanated. And it is better to work all together as one.
Thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Okay. And he says that he healed a human child who had passed away and came to his bedroom after his death. Can we check up on that? Was that him?
Yes, it was.
Can you tell us how that boy is doing now, the spirit?
The boy was able to see the connection that it had to his partner. He could see the connection, and he could see that it was transitioning into a healer, and that's why it had asked for healing. In its heart center, there was brown, sort of deceased energy that it was able to transmute into light.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for doing that for that child. And can you tell us a little more about that as it's rising upon humanity, the awareness of immunization shots and people not wanting to do it either for their children themselves, flu shots as well, or even for their own animals, their dogs and cats. As this is rising, the awareness of that, it seems that now all of a sudden this measles outbreak has occurred. Can you tell us the true intentions to that and why that occurred, Michael?
It was to spread fear, because in what had happened, even those who were already vaccinated caught a different strain, and that's why some of them had passed away. That's why some of them even had got the measles, even though they had been vaccinated previously. Because what they were vaccinated for was the original strain, not the new one that was going around.
If it was a new measles, strand, would that signify that that was something that was created recently?
Yes.
Was that created on purpose?
Yes, it was created to spread fear.
And it was this fear, because I've noticed as well, it has been mentioned to me that there is like a California that after this measles outbreak, they made it mandatory now that the children need to get vaccinations. Is that the intent for it?
Yes, and also to spread confusion. Because in this particular case, even those who were vaccinated previously, some of them had caught the disease as well. And because it was a different strain. So it was to spread fear and confusion.
But wouldn't that just signify, though, that even though they had their vaccinations, that the vaccinations didn't do any good for them because it still didn't protect them because someone created a new strand of measles?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Any advice, Michael, you have for humanity so that we can stop being forced to, for example, like California that passed that law, forced to allowing them to continue to use situations like creating a measles strand and then using it on humanity and then forcing them to do immunization shots on their loved ones? What advice do you have for that, Michael, so we can try to stop this?
Always surround yourself with force fields of love light so that you're not affected. Because even if there are these diseases that are going around, when you set up the force fields of love light around you, it's almost like a natural immunization. For those that are forced to be vaccinated, once you work on yourself, you are able to deactivate the negative aspects of the vaccine. Not completely, but you can start that process.
Mm-hmm.
But it all starts with developing yourself from within so that you can set up these force fields and you can strengthen the love light around you.
Would you be able to connect us? I'm interested in seeing for more awareness. If you could explain to us, perhaps connect us to the boy. Is he passed on now and healed? You said he was, right?
Yes, he was healed.
How can we do this, Michael? I would like to know what that new strand of measles that was artificially created, what that looks like. Can we hear it from you, or can we hear it from him, what it did to his body?
I'm trying to locate the boy.
Thank you.
I'm getting a sense of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, because of the fear, the confusion that was caused, this new strain specifically affected the heart center. And that's why what saw was the brownish energy around the heart center.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is how the virus was able to spread faster, because since it affected the heart center, it pumped the virus through the bloodstream faster that way as well.
And how did it enter into the boy's body? How did he contract it? How did it go in?
At that time, there were a lot of people in his area that were infected as well. It was not a very well-off community, so they were quite vulnerable in their location, and that's how he got infected.
And can you explain the picture, what it looks like how does it go into the body, and what it looks like inside the body? What part of the body did it enter?
I'm getting the sense that it entered in the air. It started off in the lungs, and then as the lungs pumped the oxygen into the heart, then it spread into the bloodstream, and that's how it spread throughout the body.
Okay. And is there a form to it? A shape?
It looks spiral, almost like a smaller version of the DNA. Like a helix almost.
And then when it comes in, it's breathed in, it goes into the lungs and spreads to the heart. And what's it doing to the body as that shape of that helix form?
It changes the DNA so that those who have the virus aren't able to handle the disease.
So does it go into the human's DNA? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm sensing.
Thank you, Michael. So with the reconstructing the DNA, that's what initially starts tearing apart at the body?
That's what causes the body to break down.
And how do they place it into the air?
Through the chemtrails.
I thought so. Thank you for the confirmations. Very good. And Michael, your advice was to surround yourself with force fields of love light because that will help filter it out?
Yes, it won't filter everything out. But it's a natural way of protecting yourself.
Good. Well, it will dilute it, you would say?
It will definitely lessen the amount that reaches you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Michael, for that information. And thank you for sharing that. We send our infinite love to that boy. Thank you. And thank you for helping him out. Okay. Now, let's see what other. He's been in there some time. How's he holding up, Michael?
He's feeling a bit warm, but it's okay.
Okay, higher self. If you can help him, just cool off a bit. Help him feel comfortable.
The tentacles in the foot are already all out.
Wonderful. Thank you. What else is left that's healing?
The energy in the forehead is starting to dissipate.
Good. Okay, we're going to continue asking his questions here. I'm sure I don't have any other questions for you that are in regards to entities, and if not, we can go ahead and start talking to his higher self back. Let's see. And he said that one time he had an occurrence where they would, with these tentacle beings, would like that there was a portal and it was leaching off his from him, and then it disintegrated, and it got into the angelic realm for the first time, and after coming out, he transmuted black ashes from the entity and had destroyed, and he feels bad about it. Can you give him any message on why this had to occur to the tentacle squid being? And it seemed to be, he said, reincarnated in a spot at as a positive being. And he saw it as a massive cell, and it was a beautiful blue-green slime-like being. He feels like it's ever since then it's been hanging around his vessel in an attempt to help him. And he's asked the angels to help bring it to where it's meant to go, but either it seems like he's doing the wrong thing or misinterpreting something. Can you clarify that situation for him, please?
Yes. The reason why he had to experience that was so that he can see that even when you encounter beings who are very, very dark, that there is an opportunity for them to always positively polarize. And there's always a possibility for them to be reborn like the Phoenix.
Go ahead.
In terms of the being still following him around and attaching, in a sense, it almost seems like the entity feels indebted that it was positively polarized, and it's trying to guard him. But because it came from a very, very negative place, that's why at times sometimes it's still a little bit confused. So it's still kind of in between being positive and negative.
And this squid being did have a consciousness?
It did after it was transmuted.
Okay, so was it given a consciousness after it was transmuted?
It seems yes.
Okay, so can we go ahead and help the squid being go ahead and transform completely to light and ascend to wherever it's meant to go, please, and positive polarized?
Yes, and can we call on Archangel Azrael to help as well?
Yes, please, if we can call on Archangel Azrael now to guide this entity to where it's meant to go, please. We honor you, we thank you, we respect you. Thank you, Brother Azrael.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if, again, everywhere we're helping, if there's any energy still connected, there shouldn't be, but just have Raphael filling in all the love light in healing forward, please. Anyone needs healing, thank you. And he said he had several encounters, Michael, with insect-like aliens, elementals, kind of, he wasn't sure what to call them, whose larvae were leeching energy off him. He said that they were like buzzing like bees, but then they were like energy, but somehow their larvae, that they seemed positive, but their larvae was leeching off their energy, try to positive polarize them, but only ended up hurting them. They telepathically told them that they were positive polarized and that they would do their best to keep their babies in check. Could we possibly connect to them as well? What is that, Michael?
Yes, they're elementals. They were positively polarized.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the younger versions of them, they weren't fully formed at the time that we encountered them.
And why is it that they were draining his energy?
Because of the light that was emanated from them, from him. They were attracted to the light.
Was he perhaps too open again?
Yes.
Okay. So Michael, I know he wants to, kind of stay open for others, but as he's learning through, the alchemy we're teaching him, it is important that he doesn't leave himself so open and he surrounds himself with force fields of love light every day when he wakes and before he goes to bed. That way, these type of energies are not draining upon him. Do you have any additional information and advice for him? That way, he doesn't have to be struggling so much. That's a lot going on with him and his energy.
He has been doing a lot better recently, not leaving himself too open. He's felt the change in the energies as well. Because previously he would feel almost like overwhelmed with energy. But now he's slowly starting to rest. What he has to learn and continue to remember is that it's okay to rest and to not always be so available all of the time. It's always good to help, but you need to also recharge and focus on yourself so that you have the energy to help others.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Thank you for that advice. And if he decides to share, this could really help out many upon Earth. These force fields of love light, how they can just help from, entities, energies, reptilian consciousness, as well as, the measles we mentioned, or any type of virus or AI type of technology out there. So thank you, Michael. Okay. Now let's see what else he has here. Now, overall, if we could just open up his abilities, he wants to be a clear channel specifically because he has now become A.U.R.A certified and is looking to be that clear channel. So if we could go ahead and make sure that he is that clear channel and open up all his abilities that are able to be opened up with his higher self's permission. And if we can also work on his heart and expand it to the fullest now, please. If we could have the higher self and Archangel Raphael work on his heart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. And now, can I please speak to, it seems that we got the majority of the things that Michael and the angelics needed to take care of. So if we can now, I honor, love, and respect. Thank you, Metatron, Michael, Raphael, Azrael, anyone else who assisted today. We honor you, we love you, and respect you. Thank you for such a beautiful, profound healing. Thank you. And if you could please now connect us back to the higher self.
Greetings, sister.
Greetings. Thank you. Thank you for helping us perform such a beautiful healing today. Now, okay, and he says that his goddaughter has been turned global, delayed, and is unable to speak now that she's 10. Can we have perhaps channel? Could you connect us with any type of energy that we could help her with?
Yes, you can connect.
Thank you. Greetings.
Greetings.
Thank you for being here. May we ask you questions?
Yes.
Thank you. As you know, in this life here, you have been termed global delay and you have a form of autism. Can we ask, do you have a message or anything that we can assist you with?
Yes, I want to say thank you for the love. My condition is, it's a contract that I have with my mother to help her teach her strength. She loves me dearly, and I feel the love.
Yes. Is there anything that we could do as far as healing you, if we're allowed, within your free will? Any type of healing we could do for you?
Yes. I'm slowly getting better in terms of how I communicate with my family, but any help is appreciated.
Thank you. Can we send you healing energies now?
That would be very much appreciated.
Thank you. We send you love light now. And do you have any other message before we talk back to his higher self?
Thank you for the love.
Thank you. If I could please talk back now to the higher self now. Higher self now. And then he said he feels that he never heard or connected to the idea of hearing a call, and that's why he came to Earth. He feels that he resonates with that. He actually was part of the group that made the call, and that he's a Gaia starseed, truly a child of Gaia, and experiences in other galaxies and universes. Can we see if there are any messages that Gaia has for her starseeds?
Yes, but the message I'm getting is that first, to the other star seeds who have come to Earth, thank you. I know that it's difficult being here on Earth, but I appreciate the patience that you show with my children. And for my children, my star seeds, use the lessons that you learned in your lifetimes, in your experiences in other galaxies, to help aid our collective consciousness here on Earth. It truly is a wonderful time for all of us.
Thank you. Now, he says he recently started resonating with the idea of a soul braid with multiple essences and higher selves who he works with. There's this blue divine feminine being that is in several meditations. He thinks it's either from another galaxy or from inner Earth. Can we learn more about the soul braid within him, if indeed that's what he is?
The being that he sees is another fractal as well.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, as she continues her ascension as well, she's working to influence and help as he ascends. So they're both fractals.
Beautiful. Now at this point, we've asked all the questions that needed to be asked. Is there anything else that I could have asked that I haven't asked? Higher self?
No, I really thank you for the assistance today.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It has been such a beautiful honor. I know that we were working on some parts within him. I believe in his crown, third eye area. Can we check that? I want to make sure it's all healed before we finish up.
Yes, it's been filled with positive energy. We just need to ensure that these areas are properly shielded. But this is something that you can do. He just has to remember to shield the vulnerable areas.
Yes.
And especially around the chakras as well. What he can work to do, aside from creating the shield around his vessel, around his whole aura, and also create miniature shields specifically around the chakras that tend to be attached to. You can have a shield within a shield if there are parts that need to be reinforced, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again, everyone who assisted the archangels. Anyone else? We love you, honor you, and respect you. Thank you. Blessings to everyone. May I bring him back now?
Yes.
Thank you.